We went to a house party one time and this all happened and somebody got married.
Well, they're already married. These are next. So there it is. All right, so if I can have your attention, I'm BJ Taylor, and I am Spencer's chairperson. And on behalf of myself and my spouse Chris, welcome to our home, and thank you for supporting Spencer in his candidacy for delegate of District 32. Kind of a little bit of funny story here. This all kind of started earlier this summer. I've known Spencer for a long time, from when he worked for and represented and worked for Jocelyn over there for District 21, and we kind of reconnected back earlier this year at a friend's cookout. And I'll be honest, I'm going to miss District 21. And I was telling him that. And if anyone knows Spencer, he sold District 32 to me in about 10 minutes. He told me everything that was perfect about it, everything that was awesome about it. And then from there, from selling it, he was telling me his passion and his vision for 32. And after an hour, and unfortunately Chris is used to being neglected for like an hour in the corner when we start talking politics. And it was amazing, from job creation to education. And if you ever want to talk to him about any of that stuff, or if you want to read it, please look at his website, because it's amazing. I can't even nearly do it justice. But it just blew my mind. And like I said, after an hour, I looked at him and I said, "So, when are you running?" And and I'm not going to take any of his thunder, I promise. But he said, it's always been a passion of mine. I love this district, obviously. And he said that, I'm not sure if it's the right time. I said, okay. I said, I understand that. I still want you to run. So then, luckily for all of us in 32, he called in late October and said, I've decided to run. I said, what's changed? He said, well, I've talked to a lot of people in this district, and I've talked to my friends, and they've all said the same thing. I need to run, and I'm ready to run. I said, thank God. I said, let's get started.
There you go.
And I tell you what, other than that, other than his passion and his vision, his hard work. I mean, what I have seen over these last couple of months is that is just the tip of the iceberg of what type of delegate he's going to be. And he is just already, and if you live in this district, you're going to see him 3-4 times at your door, I'll tell you that, because he's a hard worker. So, you didn't come here to hear me, I promise you that. And I am going to introduce the next delegate from District 32, Spencer Dove.
That's my chair. After his spiel, I now officially don't have anything to say. Just vote for me, and I defer to DJ on this. But no, thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. You'll see me shaking. I'm not nervous. I'm actually cold. I never get cold. Everybody knows it about me. I'm naturally a high-temperature person inside. But this is an incredibly humbling experience to have everybody here and to have this opportunity to run and hopefully represent 32 in Annapolis in the House of Delegates. This has been my home for as long as I can remember. But before I start speaking, I do want to recognize some of our folks in the room. First, I'd like to point out Pam Vidal, our delegate from District 32. In 2009, I interned for her. Randomly emailed her after I had met you at the 2006 poll at Porterfield Elementary.
That's right.
And I said, hey, I'm looking for an internship in Annapolis. I'd love to be with you. And she said, all right, let's go. Let's do it. And so she kind of got my feet wet in that respect. And then also Jocelyn Pena-Melnick, state delegate from District 21. That's kind of the full circle right there. I started with Pam and I ended with Jocelyn. And I worked. I worked with Jocelyn for 1.5 years in Annapolis, and while I don't always agree with her votes or her politics, I can say she represents her district incredibly well. And she is. Sorry.
Nice, she finds out.
No, she knew that about me. She put so much thought and so much effort into all of the issues and all of the bills that are before her to make sure that she's representing her constituency well and that she's casting her votes
in the best interest of Maryland. And it's not just Jocelyn. I know that Pam does the exact same thing. And so I hope that no matter how this election turns out, that both of them are back down in Annapolis representing us. And then Len over there.
The model.
The driver.
The driver, the support, the help. So we have over here Sandy. From District 21, and the Gazette did it to me. I'm going to do it to you. It looks like you're running for Central Committee in 32.
Yes, I am.
Moving on the couch. Poor Brian Schatt doesn't know this, but I'm going to say that he's here on behalf of his mother, Kathy Schatt, who is a Central Committee member from District 32, living up in the Linda-Ferndale area, the northern end of our county. So Brian's been a good friend of mine. I've gotten to know him for over a year now, and it's been interesting.
Scott's my alternate also on District 21.
Scott?
My husband and my alternate.
The designated.
My designated member.
The designated member on the Central.
Again, a driver.
We love him.
What was that?
We love him.
Yes, we do.
And then just moving down the line, we do have some candidates here. Pete Smith is running for Council 1, Anne Arundel County. The northern Hanover area, and then also we have Andrew Pruski, who's a candidate for Council 4. Kind of Maryland City all the way down to Harold Harbor, that stretch, with everything in between. Cleveland Horton, he's not a candidate, but he is my boss at the Maryland Commission on Civil Rights. He's the acting executive director.
Wow.
And then back there, hiding from me, you can't run, that's Tanja McCoy. I look forward to running and having a great debate on the issues in this primary election. I don't think I missed any other electeds or candidates or anyone else.
You were pretty good.
Okay, I'm trying. I'm still freezing. A sweater, but no. As I was saying, this is really an honor. For as long as I can remember, District 32 has been my home. Even in the little shifts where I started out over in Millersville, and now here I am in Severn. I've always been here, and I came back here after college. Just a little bit about me and my background. I am the son of a single mother, the middle child of 3. I have an older brother and a younger sister. My mother, unfortunately, could not be here with us tonight. She did move to California for health reasons, but she is my biggest supporter right now, and we're going to have to send her the video, otherwise she will not be happy with me. And growing up was tough in that family. We did not always have means or resources. Child support was not a constant. When I was a teenager, we did have to go on food stamps and Medicaid in order to make ends meet at the end of the month. And even still, I knew what an eviction notice looked like when I was in middle school because things were so tough. But my mom was an Army brat. And Pete, with his military service, can attest to this. The discipline and the love that she showed us was phenomenal. She said, Spencer, you can do anything that you want to do. It's just a matter of applying yourself and believing in yourself and always striving to make yourself better. And it was refreshing to hear that because most of my life growing up, I was surrounded by people that said, oh, you're not going to accomplish anything. You can't do it. You don't have the means to do it. But I'm doing it, and I'm living my life, and hopefully I can give that gift to somebody someday because it's been very powerful in my life. I went to Old Mill Middle School South, and then I later graduated from Old Mill High School in 2005. Yes, the school with no walls. And then later on, I went to Washington College, the only school that I really wanted to go to. And it was my dream school, and I graduated there in 2009 with 2 degrees, one in political science and one in economics. And it was kind of there, and with the assistance of Pam and others around me, that I learned my love for public policy. And that's kind of where I'm at now. So in addition to my internship, after graduating, I somehow, in December of 2009, landed a job with Delegate Roger Mano out of District 19 in Montgomery County. He went on to because of his good constituent services and representation of his district, become the next senator from District 19. But I thought the House was more fun, so I moved on over to Jocelyn. And everything worked out perfectly. And she taught me even more what the folks I had worked for before her, what it was all about, and how to just be the best that you can possibly be, to really serve the people, because that's what this is all about. This isn't about political gamesmanship and partisanship. This is about making sure that at the end of the day, the citizens that have instilled in you the public trust, you're serving with that honor and that dignity and that transparency. You don't always have to agree, but you have to know that you're doing the right thing, and everybody had a seat at the table, and that you took their views into consideration, and you used the strength of our communities in order to make some massive and incredible changes for the good of our community. And so they've been great role models, and that's kind of why I'm here now. I did unfortunately have to leave service in Annapolis in May of this year, or 2013, to go to the Commission on Civil Rights, kind of do a little bit of public affairs now, public relations. And that's been an incredible growing and learning experience too. And it's wonderful working with Cleveland and everybody over there. So we have an excellent apparatus, and hopefully I get the opportunity to really support our state employees and our communities and our small businesses, our schools, and everybody that really matters. So that's just a little bit about me. Kind of the underdog all my life, but I've stuck by what my mom's taught me. Stay true to your word and work hard, and you'll go far in life. And so I'm hoping that this next step, everything will work out for the better. But why I decided to run. Why did I call BJ? I think you were number 3, actually.
Mother must better be number 1.
No. I was scared that she would yell at me. Why did I decide to run? It started becoming clear as I was out in the community, as I was talking with people, and also as I reflected inside, that my decision to not run would have been a mistake. And I found a profound amount of support from folks who say, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it. And then I looked at the district. We added Russet, Maryland City in. They're a community I know. They're a community that I worked with through District 21. And they're going to be an asset to District 32. The culture and what they bring to the table, it's exciting. That would be a lot of fun. But I realized that if I didn't take an opportunity, that I would regret it. And I looked at the candidates that filed, including our incumbents, and I said to myself, I'm not running against them. This is not a slight at them. I bring a different dynamic and a different perspective to the table for our voters to choose from. And just as a public service, that's an incredible thing in our district. Our voters deserve to have that. So I called BJ and I kind of wrestled him into being my chair. It wasn't easy. He kicked and screamed at first. And it really didn't hit me that the decision to run was right until the Gazette had kind of published that I was running, and word started getting out there that I was running. And I have some messages that, from Republicans that I'm going to read to you that reassured me that this was the right decision, and that in the end, everything was for the best reason possible. The first message, and this was within 2 minutes of my Facebook page going live. I got this email from a girl that I had met randomly once. We've never interacted beyond that. Because of the advice and help you gave me, I was able to finish my degree. I graduated last month. If you would ever want a testimonial from a registered Republican, you can call on me. Best of luck in all your endeavors. And I just stopped. Like that she was up against so much years ago, and she did that. And all I did was encourage her, support her, and say, there's this out there. And she took full advantage of it. That's what I wanted people to do for me when I was a child. So the next message was from a kid I went to high school with, and I kind of expected it to read like this after, in hindsight, but it made me chuckle when I got it. I really dislike Democrats.
But I know you, and I know you would only do good things. You got my vote, bro. You're the only Democrat I will ever vote for, by the way. Well, hopefully you'll vote for others, because I think that we have an excellent crop of candidates. But I'm honored to have his support. And then the last one, another Republican. He's more in line with the good gentleman from Pasadena, the delegate from Pasadena, in political views. But I know him on a personal level. And what he said kind of hits home for me, and what I hope to be if I get the honor of serving the citizens of District 32. Really, I don't know if you need a CAT scan or if congratulations are in order. Tell you what, when you're in town again, let me know. I'll take you out for a drink. I'd love to hear more. I'm glad that you're running, though. I'm always interested in those folks who are interested in doing the right thing for people. Folks who are statesmen more than politicians, if you get my drift.
Very good.
And that's why I'm running to earn the public trust of the 125,000 or so residents of District 32. I am running to bring everybody to the table. I'm running to represent their views and their interests, and to try to do right by our citizens in order to keep moving Maryland forward. There are so many things that we have to deal with, so many major issues that they're even tackling now in the 90-day session, that we still have to keep building upon that, and building upon that, and building upon it. Because if we fall on our sword, Maryland's going to lose. We are economically, geographically, socially, we're primed for success. And it's a matter of us grabbing the bull by the horns. So just some of the issues, a brief overview. If you want to go to my website, dufforddelegate.com, you can read more about it there. But the first and frankly the foremost important issue that I care about is education. As far as I'm concerned, it's the cornerstone of our society. I know that there's a lot of discussions around Common Core and other matters right now, and I'm happy to see that parents in our communities are engaging with our elected officials and our school board. And I want to be there to help them have that voice and make sure that everything's taken into consideration. It isn't just about making sure that kids can go to college. We have capped the tuition at our university schools, which have enabled so many kids to actually go to school that may not have otherwise been able to. But it's about making sure that children who don't want to go to college or aren't ready to go to college can get workforce development training, and also are unemployed right now, are chronically unemployed or long-term unemployed, making sure that they can get the skills that they need to re-enter into our job market and get really high-paying jobs to move forward that quality of life. Second issue, going right on that, job creation to achieve our piece of the American dream. Growing up on welfare, my mom always taught me this is not where we should be, and hopefully you will not be here. And she said, but I know you're not going to be here because you know the value of work. And she encouraged me, and she taught me to go and get that job and earn that dollar, make sure that my finances are in line. And a lot of people right now, we need to, as a state, support them in getting the job through workforce development, through making sure that we're attracting and retaining the best businesses, that Maryland small businesses are on a level playing field with our large businesses. And also that we remain number one in entrepreneurship and innovation in the United States. Everybody says that we're such a tax-heavy state and we're not business-friendly, but why is the Chamber of Commerce giving us the #1 ranking for entrepreneurship and innovation? We have so much here that we can do. And we can be the engine for job growth. In this area, we have the port, we have the airport, we have 95 running right on through. We are a commerce hub on the East Coast, and we just need to build on that. Safer communities, peace of mind, public safety. We are fortunate to have a low crime rate across the entire state, but we need to settle for a 0% crime rate. We need to make sure that our law enforcement has the resources to fight violent crime, sexual abuse, drug trafficking, and other really heinous and dangerous acts in our communities. Our firefighters need to make sure that they have available the training and the equipment and other things to respond to emergency systems. And the same thing with our EMTs that are out there protecting our communities. We can never repay them for the service and the sacrifice that they give us, but I want to be there to fight for them, to make sure that they are going into a situation equipped with everything that they need to handle it. Fiscal responsibility that reflects our values. Thankfully, we have to balance our budget every year, but I'm looking at it, all right, well, we've
we've raised taxes. And, okay, we've raised taxes. How are we making sure that Maryland's tax dollar is being spent wisely and effectively? I'm not inclined to support a tax increase if I were to be delegate. That isn't to say that I'm opposed to it. It isn't to say that I'm going to support it. I think tax matters really come down to the constituency and how they express it. But if I was your delegate, I will fight to make sure that we're closing as many tax loopholes and we are striving for efficiency and accountability to make sure that the tax dollar is being effectively and powerfully spent as you should so expect from your government. Transportation infrastructure for growth and prosperity, it's the same thing as job creation, education. I'm not going to harp on it. We need to make sure that our road projects are funded and completed in a timely manner. I know 198 out here receives failing grades all the time. I live up just off 175. That has been a long, drawn-out project. I know a lot in our communities are very upset with the projects, how they've been on hold, how they've been underfunded, things like that. There are reasons for that. We did just raise the gas tax in an effort to address that. But let's go ahead and let's make sure that we get these projects done. And I want to be there to try to help make sure that that happens. Healthcare, that works for us. The Affordable Care Act's going through right now, being implemented, and there have been some bumps along the road. That's not to say that we can't in the future look at the lessons learned from implementation of Affordable Care Act and other reforms that are happening. And we can't try to find ways to keep making health insurance better and working for us. And then last, protecting our Chesapeake Bay and the environment. We've grown up on and around this bay. It is an amazing asset and central to our economy here in the state. And I want to work with so many leaders in the environmental community to make sure that it remains our crowning jewel here in Maryland. I need a glass of water.
Now you see the true job of a chairperson. I learned from Lynn. He taught me how to do it. I learned from you. Get that camera.
Good job,
There
BJ.
you go.
Just really quickly, thanks to the leadership of so many across this great state, we have been able to improve the health of our Chesapeake Bay. But if we want to continue to have a prosperous Maryland, if we want to have strong property values and really an amazing environment to enjoy and raise our kids in, we need to double down and make sure that we're taking care of the Bay, we're taking care of our forests, our open space, and we're conserving wisely and developing wisely. So with that, I will end. Thank you again all so much for coming out tonight. I really cannot begin to express my appreciation and gratitude for your support. Over the coming months, I will be out there and I will be working to earn every one of your votes, and I will be working to earn the votes of every one of our neighbors. This is not a job that I take lightly. It's an honor, and if I get down to Annapolis, if I am successful,
When?
Well, when I am successful then on that, I intend on making you proud. My mother, my mentors, everybody taught me to not make a promise you can't keep. I'm making you that promise. If you elect me delegate, I will make you proud. My name is Spencer Dove. I am running for the 32nd Legislative District to represent them in the Maryland House of Delegates. And I hope to have your vote in this Democratic primary. That's basically the end of our program. Hopefully I can get a jacket on real quick.